I also had severe migraines. And so I said, okay, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to figure this out. So I did the think box that Dr. Joe says. During that meditation, it turned out that the feeling that came up to process was guilt. And so I said, okay, I'm ready to let the guilt go. And so I'm feeling the guilt just leaving my body. And as the guilt is leaving the body, I have this tectonic shift in my head. And it was literally tectonic. It was like this thumping noise, and my head moved and shifted. And it was just like, ka-ding. And in that second, I said, oh my God, the migraine healed. And then I got out of that meditation and I would walk around. And then I'm like, oh my God, it's just, I don't have that heaviness that I had because of the migraine. I've had that heaviness since I was 12. I started to do the changing box meditations. And that's when all these feelings that were stuck in my body started to come out. It was the feeling of hate. And it was the feeling of anger. And I was not aware how much of it I had been holding in my body. That's when I decided to do the retreat. Yesterday, during this first meditation, or the second meditation of the day, I healed my hip. I wrote down an intention, and I said, okay, what am I feeling? I feel that I don't have the right support. And what are the symptoms of it? And how do I want it to change? So I wrote all of that down, and I just closed it, put it to the side, and then we came into meditation the next day, and it just manifested itself. I didn't even look for it. And it was like this amazing calm in my head and my body. It was just so calm. It's just, my heart was just connecting, and it was this wave just going like this. And then all of a sudden, I have this energy that just comes through this way into my hip, and there's this white light, and it just surrounds my hip. And then I feel this pain moving in my pelvis. And it was like a combination and awareness that I've been having pain even before I thought I was in pain. It was the pain of childbirth. It was like labor pain. And I reconnected with the love for my child. And it was just so beautiful. And I said, okay. And I've had these pains after childbirth that doctors just could not explain. And I remember that when I was giving birth, as much as I love my child, at the same time, I felt so lonely. And so like that pain just shifted, and I allowed that feeling, and I focused on the love for my child. And then it shifted into the socket of the hip. And that's when I realized that I had ailed the anger with people who didn't support me in my life. And there was this craving, and I wanted to scream. And there was this need to feel supported. And the anger that I felt for not being supported the way I needed to and not being seen, it was stuck in my hip. And that's why it wasn't opening up. I tried personal trainers, I tried physical therapy. I even got trained as a body worker and a personal trainer myself, so I could heal my body, and just the hip would just not give. And all that anger, it makes sense. It's the support. The hip supports our body. It's the frame of our body, and so the foundation of our body. And so I just allowed it to happen. And I just observed the pain just traveling. And I did feel like I wanted to scream, so I just allowed myself to scream in my head. And after that, it just kind of just started to move and move and move and move. And all of a sudden, it was that same exact knowledge that I had when I felt the migraine had healed. It was this knowledge. Okay, the hip is healed. To have this knowledge and ability to tap into it, it's the best gift in the world. And to live in this day and age where we have people like Dr. Joe that give us that knowledge. It makes me feel beyond happy that we are alive.